So I'm here today to talk about Tokyo Ghoul Route A, Episode 6, and I'll put a link in the box below for you guys, probably on Funimation.com, where you can view for yourself legally if you have a subscription from them. Now, this episode is fairly simple, but it does give us, from a story standpoint, intel on some of the characters' backgrounds, such as Akira, such as Juzo, as well as what's happening with Toka and Anteku, and also, very important, we get some insight on what's happening to Ken Kaneki, because he's the main character, and right now he's going a little bit batshit crazy. So, fascinating. A lot of points when it comes to story. So, first of all, when it comes to animation overall was pretty good for the most part. Nothing too strenuous from that standpoint, because there was no combat scene shown, with the exception of the Juzo flashback, wherein which it was, a lot of stuff was blacked out, pretty much, and I still can't stand it. I really can't. It infuriates the fuck out of me. I'm like, oh my god, please stop blocking this shit out. But they do it constantly in a whole host of variants in Tokyo Ghoul. You have the flipped contrast, you have the blurred out shit, you have just the complete blackout. It's like, oh, there's so many variants. I'm like, stop. Just let it roll, motherfuckers. Let it roll. Off the tongue, smooth. No one likes censorship. It sucks. Your porn is a key example of that. Yeah, you're doing the kinkiest shit. But I can't see that vagina. What the fuck? It's all blurred out and shit. What? No. Alright, moving on. Then you have the pacing, which I thought was on the fast side for the most part, but it was still good because it was a little bit fast, but because of that reason, they were able to actually cover a lot more of the story. And I'm not going to complain in that sense, because a lot of the story revealed in this episode was actually necessary for the characterization of mainly Juzo and Akira. So let's start there. Juzo, we find out that when he was a kid, he was raised by a ghoul. I think her name was like Big Mama. And Hercules. And listen, when she brung out those clamps, I was like, fuck. Like, it's that kind of stuff where I can see why the CCG and company have this, to say the least, gross distaste of ghouls. Because, first of all, in the story, we start off on the pretty much like the ghoul side, because Ken Kaneki was a human, he turned to a ghoul through the surgery. And then we find out that ghouls, like, for example, Anteku ghouls for the most part, like Toka, like the old man, like Hinami, they're decent people. They're not crazy, they're not super sadistic. And over the course of the series, we find the exceptions, or I could say, okay, well, maybe, let's flip it around. Anteku, for the most part, looks like an exception. They're like the nice ghouls, who they won't try and harm humans. Yeah, they'll do what Yomo did. They'll go and find, they'll go and find people that committed suicide off a cliff, and use them as nourishment. Or you have what Toka and Ayato's father did. He used to dig up graves. But a lot of these ghouls are fucked up. They're very fucked up. I mean, it's one thing just to, eat humans for the sake of eating humans, like Rize did. It's a whole other thing to, like, abuse your quote-unquote food in such a manner. And this Big Mom chick was clearly one of them. Big Mom. One Piece status. So, that was fucked up. And you can see why Juzo's personality is so distorted. Apparently, he always had this amazing physical, he always had these amazing physical attributes to him. He was always agile and nimble, always quick on his feet. That was something that was natural. But his personality was fucked up because he was raised by a ghoul. And then one day they raid this auction house, and he was there over a corpse of a guy he just killed, and they took him into the fold. And that's when you have this whole pretty much partnering up of Shinohara and Juzo. And what's also fascinating is seeing that Juzo, yeah, he doesn't really care about him dying. I mean, when he fights, you can see it in his fighting style. He's very reckless. He has no sense of danger. And it's amazing because we're slowly getting to see an odd change in personality for Juzo. It's very minuscule. But he wants a true parent-like figure in his life. And he's getting that from Shinohara. Shinohara is like the father-like figure in his life right at this point in time. And it kind of hits home with Juzo for an instant. Where when Juzo's talking about the owl and how he says how the owl, I want to fight him, I can't wait to fight him, and he's stoked. And he says, I don't care if I die or not. Like, it's not a big deal if you die. I mean, we're detectives for the CCG. That's our job. That's our job, to fight against ghouls and possibly die. And you have Shinohara say, well, if you died, I'll be pretty sad. And that kind of clicks in his mind for a second. So it's very important characterization because it's not as bold, it's not that, impactful, but you can clearly see that there is this small change in his character that probably will lead to bigger things later on in the story. The next thing, character-wise, is Akira. And we find out pretty much that her mom was also a detective, CGD, and apparently she was killed in a battle against the owl. And Mato had revenge. He had, that was one of his key motivations, to fight against, to kill the one-eyed owl. And we can actually see that, because I remember in the first season, you have Toka, and Toka, when she kills Mato, he's holding her by the leg and says, I can't die yet until I kill that one-eyed bastard. So, something along those lines. So you can clearly see that revenge is now going down the line. So you have, well, I can't say going down the line for the owl specifically, but for ghouls in general. Because Akira, her father, was killed by Rabbit, who was Toka, and her mother was killed by the one-eyed owl. So in essence, when the one-eyed owl came in there fucking swooping down and shit in the middle of the damn prison, that was her mother's murderer. So, obviously, it hit her home. And when she had the opportunity to go with Amon to, go to a bar and drink some sake and some good stuff, well, she went. And normally it's against her creed because she's like, well, I can't eat anything past 9 or some shit like that. And clearly, like, not a party chick, alright? She's not one of those girls that you'll see in the pub. Oh, the pub. Yeah, at a club. I'm not fucking British here. At a club, like, at 11 o'clock at night, getting her ass drunk. No, you're not going to see her do that. But this time around, she does have a few sake cups and she gets drunk. And she has an experience with Amon. At least that's the way it seems to be. Like, all of a sudden, Amon, Akira, at her place, she's drunk, holding his back. Like, whoa. Getting a little bit, hot and heavy, yeah. Yikes. But, no. When she says father, he's like, fuck. Goddamn, I'm a rookie. I'm a fool. Doing push-ups. He did like 17, oh no, it wasn't 17,000, but he did like 1,000 plus push-ups. I was like, fuck. Bruh. I can't even do 50 straight. Let alone fucking 1,000 plus. I'm not, no. It's not even human. Shit. That's my goal. My goal is to do 1,000 push-ups straight. That's like my lifelong achievement. That's my lifelong goal right now. I want to be so physically fit where I can do 1,000 push-ups straight. Which is crazy, but it is what it is. And basically, it looks like they've actually gained a closer bond this experience. Takizawa, I mean, he was there for an instant, but then he got a phone call from Hoji, kind of fucked up, called him bastard, and Hoji, aka Aizen, was, not too pleased, so he had to come back to work. But when it comes to Akira and Amon, that bond is clearly, gotten stronger. Finally, for the small things, Hide, a smaller scene with him and Amon, which was fascinating, and he bumped into him, all the papers fell down, he picked up the one with the eye patch, and pretty much he knows that something's going on with Ken Kaneki and the eye patch. And it's very important because, well, he's his mate, he's his friend. So the fact that his friend has, up and disappeared, yeah. And eye patch, Hide's correlating a few things together, because, again, Hide is perceptive in very weird ways. Then you have what's going on at Onteku with this new girl called Roma. She's now a part of the fold at Onteku. And then you have Toka, who's still studying, trying to get to the same university as Ken Kaneki. And you can see from her test grades, not doing so hot, but it is what it is. And finally, Ken Kaneki himself. Well, we'll end on this note. Ken Kaneki is going a little bit batshit crazy, alright? His Kagune is appearing every 18 seconds, like breaking the walls and shit. He's screaming in agony. Can't even hold the damn coffee cup. He's just like... And you're like, okay, damn, what's happening right now? And at the beginning of the episode, it was talk. We have Amon and Shinohara, who's still in bed at the hospital. He says that Ken Kaneki, or the eye patch, he ate his Arata armor. Not him, obviously. And there's something to do with cannibalism, where if a ghoul performs or engages in cannibalism, their Kagune transforms into a Kakuja. And Ken Kaneki, he's like half Kakuja. He's still transforming. So that's fascinating because it looks like he's gotten a lot more stronger. That's fairly obvious. However, it's having a psychological effect on him. That's very obvious. It's very obvious. He's not all there anymore. He used to be, sound up in here. That was his strong suit. Now it's a fucking weak point. So we are not too sure about the details yet. And obviously there's going to be a lot more elaboration later on as the story progresses forward. But at this point in time, Ken Kaneki is in a very shaky situation. So let's leave it at that. So overall, the episode, I thought it was decent. I'll give it a good plus. I'll leave it at that. So rate the video, comment, subscribe. Have a nice one. You know what? Okay plus. Yeah. Now have a nice one. And make sure to rate the fucking video. Not that damn hard. Boom.